on this auspicious day to unbox the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it's just come in today evening to me. It got delivered, so I'm quite excited to have this open and have it get started using it. Alright, as with any of the most recent iPhones, it's a fairly clean box, but what is new is that this is a black box. I think I've got about 5 or 6 white boxes of various white designs, but this is a black box, and as you can see, this is loosened a bit, but I'll go ahead and open it up. This is the 256 gigabyte model. This is the fastest they could get delivered, so I'm super glad for it. I have had the 256 model for the iPhone XS Max, and I have not run out of space at all in the year. So continuing with that, and ta-da! Wow, look at that. So straight off the bat, we've got, just observing one thing, that the box actually has the back of the camera on it, and in fact there's a cutout here for, if you can see that cutout here for, not a cutout, but a little push-in for the camera system. So you've got to really, they really want you to look at the camera system and go, yes, this is why I have the phone, not because I love upgrading for the sake of it. So I'm gonna just move that up a little bit here so you can see it's a really fine camera mechanism. I mean, really high quality. Just holding it in my hand makes me feel like I've got something quite well engineered. It just feels so polished. And it has a bit of heft on it this time, that's for sure. There's definitely some heft, much more than before. And yes, my fingers are instant magnets, so, which is, what you would expect of most modern day phones. So, but the back is basically a fingerprint non-magnet of sorts, so we are not gonna ever get fingerprints on it. Perfect. Let's do the unzipping process, and I guess we just get started up. While that's booting, let's see what else we've got here. We've got the hello. Quick instructions. We never read those. We've got the little opening, got a sticker. All right, none of the usual suspects. Oh, and there's my I will come back to you in a second. I just want to see what else is in the box. You've got your standard earphones, and this is a nice heavy one. So you've got a heavy USB-C charging cable, which is now also a USB-C. Interestingly, this is, they've changed the mechanism over here so that it's a little bit more closed off there. But we've got nice beefy 18 watts charger. I already have several third-party chargers that go well with my MacBook and the iPads, so I probably won't be needing this, at least for now, until I lose it, of course. So that's the box. Let me just put this back in the exact conditions so that I can open it up 1 year from now and just be happy that I've not needed anything. So there we are. Throw it off once again. Boop. Okay, this over there. All right, let's see what we have over here now. Hello. This is awesome. So this is the stuff that we live for. I see it's changing languages. Let me catch up with this one. English, Australia. If I have an iPad or running, Yes, actually I do. So I don't mind using my iPad at the moment to help me out with that. So, yes, I do have a camera overhead. So as you can see here, I've got my iPad next to me, and I'm just going to use this to pair this. And I can just, I'm going to need to censor that probably, but I can use the iPad to basically get my iPhone up to speed. Yeah, there we go. So that's happening. And can you not? Oh, can I just? Yep. All right. So it is completing the rest of the process, and while this happens, still got a few things that I'm very keen to see. One is, of course, the camera. This is supposed to be the best camera that you can get on an iPhone, which of course has a lot of meaning. Basically, every iPhone is better than the previous iPhone. There's never been a worse iPhone, except maybe in some of the years when they don't talk about the battery life that much. That's when you can tell that the battery life is probably not worth talking about. In fact, it could just be worse, but by and large, every iPhone is better than the other in the previous years. So let me just get my Face ID started. Okay, and this is supposed to be a much faster Face ID as well, so cool. So the first is complete. I remember when the iPhone 10 first came out, it was like in a slow experience of patience to, just get something working. But by far now, after years later, it's much, much faster. And we're more than happy with that. It is trying to set up my Apple ID. It is already running a little bit warm, so that may not be the best sign of times. You know what? Don't transfer anything. Just let me deal with it. Is it already night mode? Yes, it is. It is already night mode. Okay. That's awesome. So straight out the boat, night mode OLED is looking fantastic. Solid black. Screen's only getting better and better. But you know what? It's practically identical. Like from the front, I took some photos earlier, and I'll put them up right after this. But I took some photos earlier, and you would be hard pressed to tell. In fact, it is impossible to tell that it's a new phone. So it is slightly thicker and heavier, and I guess you could see some sort of green borders and shades over here. But from the front, if you had to ask me which phone this was, no, I wouldn't be able to say anything really. So it's really all about the back. Let me just do this. Okay, taking this off. Okay, share with Apple. So yes, share. Zoomed. No, I think I like it small, I guess. I'm sort of used to using that space. Go home anytime. Switch between recently, quickly access, ask Siri, swipe up. And I'm in, I guess. Okay, so great. We are at 1 second of screen time. Story's kicking in already. And a lot of Apple applications. So let's look at the first one then. Ooh, new in camera. Capture outside the frame. See and capture the area outside the frame. And the frame of the photo to improve composition. New shutter button. So if you press and record a quick video, drag the shutter left or right for burst. Okay, continue. Okay, so bleep. Whoa, okay. So practically speaking, it's basically doing this line and then sort of this line, which is quite an impressive angle. So of course these are just the angles of the lens, but it's doing, at least for me, first time Apple experience, iPhone experience. This is definitely new. I can do 1, which is, yep, I'm used to this, and 2, which, now when I do 2, you can see the top half uses the I guess the single zoom, and the bottom half uses the normal zoom. And then you've got the 2x zoom, which fills up this main box. You know, I've seen other cameras that sort of make use of the full space, so I would guess that it's not, you know, it's not super, it's not a perfect experience where you kind of expect both to be the same, but I think they were looking for a compromise that gave it a differentiation that between the 1 and a 2, and well, now that the processing power on this guy is good enough, we can actually use multiple cameras, and you will start seeing apps coming in with both front and back. So really exciting time. So if I click this, and I'll take a quick selfie of myself. Hi. And take another selfie on my side. Cool. Very cool. All right. So then you can see my camera setup and lights. Not bad. Of course, there's only a single camera up front. We've got video, slow-mo. So these aspect ratios are more what you'd associate with all the cool cameras that are coming in, where everyone's trying to do different sort of variation. You can zoom in, so you can use any of the lenses, apparently. They just don't make it super obvious, you know, like the way a normal photo or camera allows you to switch. Slow-mo also allows you to switch, except it's not that obvious. So that's interesting, they chose that. Okay, so camera was pretty much 99% of what they had announced, but what I would be keen to see is how quick now it unlocks. Very quick. In fact, let's try unlocking it. The face is nowhere there. Okay, so fairly quick. Now I know in OnePlus it can be faster. If I just do this and flip. Okay, it's a very tiny blink, but it does, you know, by the time the animation is complete, you're pretty much set. So there's really not much of a noticeable lag. Now, if I do look closer, I can see that you can see the mic over there, and you can see the way the glass has been made. It's a single piece, so this really has been sort of chiseled down from this point, and then covered with the oil and scratch-proof material. The center still is a fingerprint magnet. I think any company would struggle to be both pristinely shiny and also not attract or love body oils to be stuck on it. So it's we're quite some way off from that sort of thing happening. All right, then what else do we have? So we've got iTunes, you've got Apple Music, which looks great. Got my contacts, everyone's already there. It's like, oh, Find My, this is new. So yes, Find My Okay, so Find My Friends and Find My iPhones are now a single app. Sure. And there's offline finding, which is new. So this has to do with a new chip that I've read about that's there on the iPhone now, which it's still not fully active, but Apple's gearing to sell a sort of tile kind of device, and they want to start allowing people to just find people. Okay, and it's quite a slick UI. So the night mode is quite impressive. Obviously, this is Maps. So Maps allows San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Honolulu. So that's super helpful sitting here, I guess. And they've got night mode. I will say I have mixed feelings on this because it does look reasonably cool, and yet I think they could have gone blacker, because that's still gonna burn up my OLEDs, right? So if I do, it allows me to swipe, to chat, okay. Google Maps. Okay, so arcade and apps. So first thing I do is hit install Google Maps, and then I need WhatsApp, store, and what else do I need? I need Slack. Slack is what I need to get started, because I need work. Mail's already there. That's pretty much it. Do I need Facebook? You know, it struck me that you still have to download Facebook and Messenger and whatever else that typically gets bundled in some of the other phones that I've seen, because people just kind of expect it. Now, not all of them obviously, but I do remember getting old, say, Windows phones with integration to or pre-installed MSN Messenger and chat, and the kind of Okay, so this is Slack and looks as usual fairly slick. I'll not open that right now. What else you got? This camera is cool, allows me to zoom, and I didn't see how good the night mode was. I need to turn everything off to really kick that in, so that's going to be another video. I know that the weather app, which really isn't much, but it tells you quite pretty. Again, news is very pretty. It's black, pitch black. I mean, I love when they use the pitch black, it's like, it just feels like a very well integrated device. There's something about not sort of being burned into your eyes. Now, there's different studies about how readable certain things are versus how intuitive it is, or how it actually makes a difference to your reading speed, but I tend to find that it's nice, enjoyable color. Oh, okay, so everyone needs to be upgraded. Sure. Okay, so that gave me a very kind of gentle warning that if I don't upgrade, I die. Alright, so what is this phone all about, right? It's about the camera. And it's slightly thicker, heavier. Very simply put, it's gone into the battery, and a better processor, faster, smoother. There's nothing really it can't do at the moment. I'm gonna try play some, install YouTube, Oh, I do need my Netflix. Let me get that on board. And let's get started. So the screen looks lovely. I can't fully appreciate it with just what I'm taking now. I need to do a full photography session, video session, but it just looks lovely as it is. That being said, frankly, I felt the same way last year when the OLED, when you had the iPhone XS OLED screens and you had the iPhone X OLED screens, all very well engineered, designed by Apple, made by Samsung, but truly world-class displays where you can't fault it for anything. And they've of course perfected the fold, so it just looks seamless. I do look forward to the bezels going down even shorter and Apple pulling something out of their magic hat to really get rid of that notch, because in 2019, you know, it's like they're trying to keep the classic design as long as they can till people just give up, or well, we are kind of willing hostages at this stage. So it's a really nice looking app. Oh, you can see the screen's already got heaps of fingerprints, so I'm probably gonna do another video on how to sort of put your screen on, I guess. Alright, to summarize this video, it's another iPhone. Can't go wrong if you have the money for it. So if you've never had an iPhone, then this will be a nice experience. Again, it depends on where you're coming from. If you're like me, always want the latest thing, love the fact that there's more battery life, it's faster than ever, great camera, great screen, really no cons to this sort of thing. This design has been stabilized, that you just enjoy using it. I look forward to next year's refresh. If you have an older iPhone, like the iPhone 8 or 7, this would be a fairly good upgrade for you. If you have something that's in the last 2 years and you don't really think about upgrading as much as I do, then I would suggest you actually hold off until next year, where Apple is expected to launch a very special iPhone 2020 edition. That's what I'm calling it. If they ever use that name, you heard it here first, which is unlikely, but we are here. If they do, then, well, based on the designs and based on what the rumors are started already, it's expected to be a fairly radical design. Got the triple camera, which is just going to get better, and then you're expecting Apple to do something about the notch in some way or fashion, and hopefully deliver us another slick experience that for some reason will again stay on for at least another 4 years. But we're on the 3rd year. This is going to be the last of this iteration. Get it if you think it adds value to you, and if it doesn't, then enjoy your Apple phone. So cheers, that's it for me.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and drop me a comment on what you liked watching and what you would like to see more of. Cheers and have a great day.